HBARbarians, welcome to the channel. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. Over the last couple weeks, it has been a very exciting time to be a utility project holder. Now, I am recording this video ahead of time, so prices are definitely going to change, but as we really look at this space, guys, let's just be honest here. We are in the money-making season of crypto, where alt season is here. We are witnessing some very serious moves. And even as we do look at the top 24-hour gainers here, HBAR is sitting pretty over 20 cents at the time that I am recording this, up 333% in the last 30 days. Up almost 20% on the daily. Now, this did hit recently about 20.5 cents, a little over 20.5 cents. As we look at the last year, it is taking out those yearly gains, just as I assumed it would off of these lows. And if you guys don't believe me and you're sitting there saying, come on, Nick, you're not always right, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not always right. Just want to make that clear. But if you go and look at my previous HBAR videos, back towards roughly like the beginning of November, even like towards the end of October, I said that we are going to break to 20 cents again, and it is going to happen fast. And now we are literally watching this in real time. Now, the all-time chart shows us flipping crucial levels, including, of course, the summer of 2021 lows. Even if I look at this on the chart here, we're actually flipping those low candle bodies, which is very significant for HBAR to do so. This is showing immense amount of strength, and I do think that we are starting to see that same pattern printed back here from roughly December and also January, where the next candle on this chart is going to be very significant and could very well take us, and I know that this is going to sound insane to you guys, but could take us to 40 to 50 cents on just the next candle, with the next few candles after possibly being a pullback before we actually run up to $1 plus for HBAR. And yes, I do believe that Hedera could create a major move like that in a very short amount of time, especially considering the fact that, you know, as we look at the overall space right now, it's going absolutely insane. Now, I have been focused on trading volume, but the number one thing that I've also been looking at is the market cap for HBAR. The overall market cap for HBAR has grown significantly. In fact, it's actually at a new all-time high. Now, I do think that everyone should be focused on this because market cap does matter. In fact, it does matter for a lot of these projects that have been creating all-time high market caps, because it does show you that it is already flipping the 2021 levels. Now, does this matter to the point where, you know, we could see price action stifled completely and it won't make a new all-time high? I don't believe so. It definitely does show us that, you know, it is already at an all-time high, so it is a little bit harder to move to the upside, even though a lot of people will look at just the price chart and say, you know, we're so early, it's going to, you know, break over this and go to like, you know, $3, this dollar, that dollar, right? But as we really look at Hedera, I do think that this one does have a very high probability of breaking into the top 10. And even as we do look at today's market cap of roughly almost $8 billion, the top 10 starts at $18 billion. So the overall price here will essentially, you know, double in value, which will take us to actually 40 cents. Now, once we do get into the top 10, I don't think that we stop there. In fact, I actually do think that we continue even higher. And you also have to remember that as alt season continues to heat up, the top 10 does grow significantly in value. Even if we go and look at the historical snapshots and we go all the way back here, you know, to 2021, for an example, and we go to like the middle, we'll just go to like April 25th, you know, the top 10 here was about 15 billion. And I just want to show you guys how fast it's changed. So the next week, already at $18 billion. The next week after that, $26 billion almost. And this continued, right? Now, as we go and we, you know, skip ahead a little bit all the way into roughly like September, because that's when, you know, some of the bigger moves of the cycle actually started for a lot of the top 10 projects. We could see here, top 10, almost $30 billion, 29 billion, 29.4 billion, And then this is where, most of the market was starting to kind of cool off a bit, but we still are sitting at about roughly $30 billion for the top 10. 31 billion, 32.5 billion, 36, almost 37 billion. And this is basically where the market tops out. But that's why I say like the top 10 does grow significantly in overall market cap value. And even right now, as we really kind of look at the top 10, I do think, considering the fact that there's a lot of projects here that are already at 37.6 billion, 40 billion, almost 62.5 billion, 94.9 billion, 100 and almost 10 billion, 112 billion. I do think that the top 10 will most likely probably see around like 50 to about $75 billion. So as we are really looking at that and we're thinking about, HBAR, HBAR could essentially get to the point of having a market cap in the high 50 billion plus region. And that is going to be very significant for the overall price action for Hedera. Now let's actually talk about a few things and let's actually address what's going on for HBAR right now. So I did put out a post over on X and I said over 1.4 million HBAR being traded in the last minute. Looks like we are seeing a big spotlight put on HBAR now. I kept warning everyone about what Hedera is becoming, and now almost no one can ignore it. This is just the beginning phase of a much larger expansion. I hope you are all prepared. And yes, technically speaking, if we go back over here to dominance and we actually look at Bitcoin dominance versus Ethereum and others are starting to break to the upside. And I do believe that this is where we start to see a very large shift in the overall market. We are in the beginning phases of alt season. And yes, this does signal that HBAR and a lot of other altcoins are about to go on a massive move to the upside, just like every single alt season prior. But also, if we go over here to Fiat Leak, we can see that there is still over 1 million plus HBAR being traded in the past minute. And it is also showing us that there is a very significant demand for Hedera as well, which we did expect this to happen anyways, because as we really think about Hedera and what's been happening over the last year, adoption has been quickly growing, and the overall moves that the Hedera team have been making have been nothing but short of significant. So as we really think about what's going on here for Hedera, I think that people are starting to wake up to how big this is going to be and how large the ecosystem also is. Now, I also want to take you guys over here to SocialSwap because we just saw a very big highlight around the DeFi ecosystem for Hedera. So let's dive on in. As 2025 approaches, we want to share something significant. SocialSwap has delivered on its initial vision. What began as an ambitious project to bring DeFi to Hedera has evolved into the network's cornerstone protocol, consistently ranking among the top 30 DEXs globally by liquidity. But this is just the beginning. In the coming weeks, we will unveil our multi-year roadmap for what we're calling the renaissance of SocialSwap. This isn't about incremental improvements or feature additions. This is about fundamental expansion, scaling SocialSwap several times over and reimagining what's possible for DeFi on Hedera. We've proven that we can build essential infrastructure, power, price, liquidity, and volume data for every HTS token on the network, process more daily trades than some regional exchanges, serve as the backbone for the entire ecosystem, powering everything from wallet integrations to Oracle feeds. Now it's time to scale this foundation into something unprecedented. Our new roadmap will outline our vision for the next phase of growth, one where we transform from Hedera's leading DeFi protocol into a cornerstone of digital market infrastructure. More details coming in early 2025. The next chapter begins. And this is a very exciting time to be an HBAR holder because the entire ecosystem from DeFi to tokenization and beyond is all scaling significantly. And I could not be happier to see the Hedera ecosystem seeing such tremendous growth, seeing a lot more eyes on the project as well. And I do think that this is, like I said, just the beginning. Now, a lot of people say that I'm crazy for thinking that Hedera will break into the top 10, but let's actually address why I believe so. Okay, number one, since going all the way back to 2021, the number one discussion that I have been having when it comes to a lot of these next-gen tokens and technology players like Hedera is the fact that they are usurping demand from Ethereum, from Bitcoin, and from other chains as well. And over here, we have actually proof of this. Why did Diamond Standard migrate from Ethereum to Hedera for real world assets? Check this out.
How exactly do you use Hedera?
Our initial offering was on Ethereum, and it worked well till the extremely high and unpredictable gas prices made it unviable for us as a business to run on. So we considered other blockchains, and we finally decided on Hedera. The key characteristics that helped us was obviously, we believe in the governance model. We are an institutional product. So the council-based governance model really helps us. The security, the reliability, and most importantly, the low and predictable gas prices. Added to that was the addition of the token service, which was, for us, is like a hand in glove, right? That's exactly what we needed, something we didn't need to build on our own, something that the platform provided. The way we work on Hedera is we're quite an extensive ecosystem. We rely heavily on the Hedera token service and the smart contract service. We also use the consensus service for key audit events. We are a regulated entity, and it really helps us to create an audit log, on chain. Our physical coins and bars are represented as non-fungible tokens using HTS. Now, what we're launching now is a fungible token called BitCarbon, which is a fraction of an asset token. We also have a peer-to-peer marketplace. Think of it as a centralized limit order book, which allows our participants to transact amongst themselves. We currently use USDC as the base currency, but that has been live for the last 8 months and doing pretty well.
And when we're really kind of thinking about Ethereum and even Bitcoin, a lot of people will continue to say, oh, they're going to stick around. They're still going to be, as big as they are today. There is absolutely zero doubt in my mind that these projects like Ethereum, like Bitcoin, will be phased out. I don't care what anyone says. Go back in time and look at any early on major revolution to, tech, to any sort of, significant change. Just take, for example, social media. Okay? MySpace seemed like it was never going to end. MySpace was going to be the big hit, the #1 social media platform ever. It was never going to die down. All of a sudden, Facebook comes around, boom, replaces it. When we think about technology, over time, there has been many technology players out there and, innovations that felt as if they were going to be around for the next 100 plus years. And all of a sudden, they get phased out. They get replaced. Something else better comes around. I have stated on this channel many times over, and I will continue to stand by it. Bitcoin and Ethereum in 5-10 years max, could happen sooner as well, will be phased out by some of these other very large, very efficient players in the space that continue to grow significantly. Okay? And again, Hedera is one that I've always focused on. Now, will Bitcoin and Ethereum still be around? Will they still be, in this space? Yeah, sure. But as we look at the top 10, it is going to change significantly. We are going to see, Ethereum dethroned. We are going to see Bitcoin dethroned. It just makes sense to me. Now, a lot of people will scold me and say, no way, it's never going to happen. But just remember, in recent times, people said the same exact thing about these other major innovations, and they were quickly phased out. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.